Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and back to day 15 of our Shadow Work Journal Prompt series. You have officially made it halfway and I'm very proud of you. So today, before we get into it, if you would please subscribe and ring that bell so that you can get all of these prompts as they come up. We've got some really great stuff coming. And without further ado, let's get into today's prompt. We are talking about what are your deepest, darkest fears and how do you subject yourself to those in a healthy way. So my deepest fear, if I'm being very surface level, is spiders. I am terrified of spiders. I am subjecting myself in a healthy way to spiders by trying to let them live and not squish them the second that I see them or freak out. I would say that the least scary of the arachnid world is a jumping spider. So I've been trying to make friends with jumping spiders. All of that in jest. Let's get into the deep portion of this. I would say that my deepest, darkest fear is probably losing someone, definitely children, partners, family members. It's a valid fear of mine. And the other fear that I have is a fear of abandonment. So let's talk about how I see those coming out in my relationships and how I subject myself to those in a healthy way. I would say that when you have a fear, you tend to project it onto someone else. And in a way to try and control that fear and abate that fear in yourself is to try and control what the other person is doing so that you can help your anxiety level or your fear there. I see this in my own self recently with my son. I'm projecting my fear of him learning to drive onto him. I'm terrified that he's driving. It's scary to have someone you love that's not used to driving out in the world. And my first fear-based instinct is to keep him home and not let him have experiences driving and try and, minimize anything that could possibly go wrong to help my own fear and anxiety. But in doing that, I'm really not helping him learn to adult. I'm not giving him the opportunities to grow and become an adult and, learn from experiences and possibly failures. And I need to be able to subject myself to that in a very healthy way. And so I do allow him to drive and I do try to push myself out of my comfort zone. And, clearly I'm not going to send him to the big city on the freeway yet. But I do need to know that those things are coming and be okay with the fact that I can't control everything that happens around me at every moment. My fear of abandonment, if we were going to take that a step further in our shadow work, we would really want to think about where does that abandonment come from? Where does that stem from? Where did I pick that up at? And I have actually done a lot of work in my own shadow work to try and pinpoint that. And I think I have done that in an effective way. But it really shows its ugly head in my current relationship. So I am afraid that someone is going to be untrue to me, or maybe they're going to leave, decide that they don't want to be with me and leave. And there was a lot of fear in me over this. And I tend to watch every body movement and every conversation and listen to the things that are said, trying to pick up any signs that this person might not want to be with me anymore. It's a very anxious attachment style, which we'll get into in another video series. Attachment styles are very fascinating, but I have this anxious attachment style. And so I constantly fear that if they're not giving me constant validation, that it's because they're going to leave me. So then I'm terrified all the time. And I have an incredible partner that has really walked this journey with me as I've healed myself from some of these things that are really just rational or irrational. I don't really know sometimes, but he has been a great help to me in being a constant and letting me know that I'm safe to trust and I'm safe to believe that he's going to be here. But an even bigger part of that for me in my healing has been to really get to know myself and love myself first and be comfortable with who I am as a person so that I knew I am okay if a person decides to leave me. That doesn't take away who I am. It doesn't take away anything from me other than this was a great person that I had in my life and my journey with them has ended. A lot of getting rid of that fear has been realizing that some people just don't stay forever. They weren't meant to. They were meant to come into your life for a season. They were meant to teach you a lesson, and whether they stayed or didn't was part of that lesson. And so a lot of that just is giving up our control. And that's a really hard thing for us to do because it feels safe when we're in control of ourselves. So that's a little bit about how I help to try and deal with some of my fears and how they manifest in my life and how I might project them onto another person. I would love to hear your fears, either surface level or deep down and dirty. I would love to hear what scares you and how you think you are maybe dealing with those in a healthy way or subjecting yourself to those fears in a healthy way, or how you think you could in the future if you're not doing that already and this is the first time you're really thinking about that. So if you would like to see the rest of this series, I would love if you would click here to get that. This is going to be a video that YouTube thinks you would like, and the next video in the series will be right here. I will see you back here tomorrow for a special day. I can't wait. I'll talk to you later.